Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing you some more fun-free drumming ideas. Normally at this point I'll then go on to tell you all about what's going to happen in the lesson, but before that happens I want to tell you about a few changes that are coming to the channel. The first thing is I'm going to be taking a little bit of time off, about a month or so, to record some more like online lesson packages. A little bit like the quick start guide that I did last year, but I was thinking a little bit more sort of bite-sized so you can pick and choose whether you want to learn about beats, fills, practice pad exercises. They'll be much more in-depth than the lessons you're used to on here, but a little bit smaller than the sort of big packages that I've done in the past, just to keep the cost down and then, so you can pick exactly what you want to learn. So the next thing I want to talk about is that up until now, all the lessons you've watched about the past 4 or 5 years have been supported and sponsored very generously from onlinedrummer.com, which is why I'm always sending you over there to go and grab the sheet music. And, with the help and support from Online Drummer, I've been able to keep the lessons weekly, sort of barring the odd week off for sort of sickness or holidays and stuff like that, but most importantly free, because you don't make a huge amount of money out of adverts on YouTube anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but like I said, with the help of Online Drummer, I've been able to sort of keep them free, which is amazing. But one of the drawbacks to sort of going on your own is I lose some of that financial support. And so I've got to sort of toy around with a few ideas of how I can keep the lessons financially viable, because I absolutely love doing them because it keeps me creative and it gives me something to think about every week. And I just enjoy sort of like the response and the feedback and knowing I can sort of help out other drummers online. So I don't want to stop doing it, I just need it to be, like I said, financially viable. So one of the ideas I'm thinking of, I'm kind of leaning towards it, is to sort of keep producing the lessons on a weekly basis, but have it so that you can view them if you support me via Patreon for $5 a month. One of the benefits you'll get is that you'll be able to get the sheet music instantaneously, and I'm also going to be doing notation overlays in the actual videos themselves. So as I'm playing along, you'll actually see the sheet music, well not the sheet music, the notation of the groove that I'm playing, sort of at the bottom of the screen or wherever it sort of ends up being. As well as doing that, so we'll keep it like, so if you're paying $5 a month, you sort of get what you're getting now, but just like with a little bit more easy access to the sheet music. If you're not up for that, which is totally cool, then what I was thinking is like out of those 4 or 5 lessons I produce a month, I'll probably put maybe 1 or 2 up on YouTube where you can just sort of grab that, and everything will be free there. You still get a couple of lessons, to sort of play around with each month. The next thing I wanted to do was also make a website, so I'm in the process of sort of like learning how to do that at the moment, which is proving quite exciting. It's going to be really simple. Again, it's just going to be a place where you can download these lesson packages, you can download the ebooks I'm going to be producing and stuff like that, and of course there's a place where you can go and sort of watch the videos as well. Okay, so with all that said, if you could leave your feedback in the comments section, it'd be really great to sort of like get a little bit of response, see what you guys are thinking, whether you like the idea. Probably not going to straight away, but it's just so that it's just a way of keeping the lessons out on a weekly basis. And if I could just get a little bit of financial help, that would be absolutely amazing. And of course, if there are any of you sort of like tech savvy online business wizards out there that fancy giving me a hand or some advice, I'm all ears. So yeah, right, I'm going to shut up now and let's crack on with the spiel about all the lesson. Here we go. Okay, so if we now move on to the lesson itself, we've got quite a tricky one this week. I'd sort of put it at like higher intermediate to sort of lower advanced level. It's a single measure groove with a few different concepts where we can take ideas and sort of be creative with. It's got a bit of a trap beat sort of vibe to it. So the downbeats and the backbeats are in their sort of typical places. We're going to do a lot of work with the hi-hat, sort of playing nice little syncopated patterns using lots of different subdivisions. Can be a little tricky. When we get to beat 4, we're going to do some nice little 30-second ghost note paradiddle work. But I think the best way to sort of approach learning this is to break it down into 2 separate bars, sort of like work on them individually, and then we'll put it all together. So if you like what you saw in the intro and you want to give this one a crack, stick around and I'll break it down. Here we go. Okay, so like I said in the intro, what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into 2 measures. The first thing we're going to do is just look at like what would be measure 1. And we're going to count it like this. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, normally it'd be 1 and 2 and but for the sake of getting this second half down, we're just going to sort of break the first half down into quarter notes and eighth notes. So like I said, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and. I'm actually going to lift the hi-hat when we get to the and a beat 4. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, and. and then we're going to come down with a kick for the start of the next part of the beat. All right, so the second half, this is by far the hardest part, there's no doubt about it. And like I said, this is the reason why we're sort of splitting this into these two measures, because what we're actually going to be playing is sort of syncopated 30-second notes between the kick and the hi-hat before we move on to the second half of it, which is going to be like this sort of paradiddle idea, which is again all 30-second notes, which is really hard to explain quickly, so it'd be, you know, that's why we're going with the 8th notes and the 16ths. So if we look at like beats 1 and 2 of the second half as a whole measure, which we can loop around in a second, we're going to get this pattern. So this is going to take us all the way up to beat 3. So we get 1 E and a 2 and a. Okay, so we've got this kick, tick, 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 tick. 1 E and a 2 and a. Now once we get to beat 3, we're going to play a big backbeat. 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So there's quite a lot going on there. So for sticking, it's going to be left, right, right, left for beat 3, and then right, left, left, kick for beat 4. So 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now if we add that to like the first 2 beats we've done, we've got this 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. I'll go over that one more time because there's a lot to take in. So 1 E and a 2 and a, and then 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Let's loop that around, I'll play it nice and slowly. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Right, okay, so now for the hard bit, I'm going to try and go through the whole thing and count it out loud and play at the same time. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 E and 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 E and 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 E and 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, so we managed to get through that, so that's pretty cool. What I'll do now, if I pop up there so you can get the nice bird's eye view, you can see what's going on from a different angle. Again, I'll play at a couple of different speeds and sort of blast it up to sort of my maximum, and we'll see how we get on doing that. Like I said, this is just an idea, like the downbeats and the backbeats are all in like the beats 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're all emphasised nicely. It's all about these little patterns with the hi-hat, which you can move around the groove a tiny little bit, or just sort of take the idea or this concept and sort of chuck it into whatever you're playing at the time. So I hope you like what we've gone through so far. I'm now going to pop up there and blast out a few different speeds. So here we go. Alright drummers, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a like if you did like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already a subscriber, hit that notification icon, which looks a bit like a bell, which will notify you every time a video comes out. If you want the sheet music, it's now on my Patreon page. There's a link down there below for that. And there's also links down there for, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that other lovely stuff as well. So until next time, take care, keep drumming, and I'll see you very soon for some more fun-free drumming ideas. Alright, see you later. Just air spaces.